Returning from a Camp David weekend, President Donald Trump sounded a positive note on coronavirus.
Tremendous progress is being made on many fronts, including coming up with a cure for this horrible plague.
Before offering a darker assessment of his predecessor.
He was an incompetent president. That's all I can say. Grossly incompetent.
Trump responding to comments from former President Barack Obama in a virtual graduation ceremony where he accused the government of a real-world failing on coronavirus.
This pandemic has finally torn back the curtain on the idea that so many of the folks in charge know what they're doing.
Obama's comments mark his first public rebuke of President Trump's handling of the pandemic.
A lot of them aren't even pretending to be in charge.
President Trump resorting to his preferred medium to return fire, tweeting, "The Obama administration is turning out to be one of the most corrupt and incompetent in U.S. history." With HHS Secretary Alex Azar clarifying President Trump's suggestion on Friday that his so-called Operation Warp Speed could produce a vaccine by the end of the year.
It's not a pledge, it's a goal.
Meanwhile, Democrats are planning to investigate the firing of the Inspector General at the State Department after Secretary Mike Pompeo recommended that the president dismiss him. Steve Winnick was looking into allegations, according to a Democratic aide, that Pompeo improperly used a political appointee to perform personal tasks for him and his wife.
The president has the right to fire any federal employee. But the fact is, if it looks like it's in retaliation for something that the IG, the Inspector General, is doing, that could be unlawful.
And Hans, we just got new details on what the Inspector General was investigating.
Yeah, according to two congressional officials, the IG was looking into whether or not Pompeo made a member of his staff, a political appointee, walk his dog, pick up his dry cleaning, and make reservations for the secretary and his wife.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.